Pralaya Payodi Jale Dritavan Asivedam
Pralaya Payodi Jale Dritavan Asivedam
Vihita Bahitra Chari Pramatidam Keshavadrita Meena Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Translation. O Keshava, this is the first one, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of a fish. All glories unto you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent waters of devastation. 2. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you've assumed the form of a tortoise. All glories unto you. In this incarnation, as a divine tortoise, the great Mandara mountain rests upon your gigantic back as a pivot for churning the ocean of milk. From holding up this huge mountain, a large scar-like depression is put on your back, which has become most glorious. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of a boar. All glories unto you. The earth, which had become immersed in the Garbhodak ocean at the bottom of the universe, sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of half man, half lion. Agnideva. All glories unto you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon, Hiranyakashipu, has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana. All glories unto you, O wonderful dwarf. By your massive steps, you deceived King Bali, and by the Ganges water that has emanated from the nails of your lotus feet, you deliver all living beings within this world. So that dwarf is Lord Vamandi. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of Brigupati, or Parshuram. All glories unto you. At Kurukshetra, the same Kurukshetra where Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, but long, long ago before that, you bathed the earth in the rivers of blood from the bodies of the demoniac Kshatriyas that you have slain. The sins of the world are washed away by you, and because of you, people are delivered from the blazing fire of material existence. 7. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of Ram Chandra. All glories unto you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravana, and you distributed his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster. Now we come to Lord Balarama. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of Balaram, the wielder of the plough. all glories unto you. On your brilliant white body, you wear garments the color of a fresh blue rain cloud. These garments are colored like the beautiful dark hue of the river Jamuna, who feels great fear due to the striking of your plowshare. If you want to read that pastime, it's in the Krishna book in a very nice way, Srila Prabhupada give us. 9. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of Buddha. All glories unto you. O Buddha of compassionate heart, you decry the slaughtering of poor animals performed according to the rules of Vedic sacrifice. 10. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume the form of Kalki. All glories unto you. You appear like a comet, and you carry a terrifying sword for bringing about the annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of the Kali Yuga. And there's a blessing in this 11th verse by the author, Janananda Goswami. It says, O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you assume these 10 different forms of incarnations. All glories unto you. And O readers, or listeners, please hear this hymn of the poet Jayadev, which is most excellent and a warder of happiness, a bestower of auspiciousness, and is the best thing in this dark world. Jaya Jagadisha Hari. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the 10th canto, chapter 2, entitled Prayers by the Demigods. At this time, Devaki and Vasudeva in the prison of King Kamsa. This prison is in Mathura. And Kamsa had already killed the first 6 babies of Devaki, one after the other. He was so full of fear, and he wasn't taking any chances, even though the oracle had specifically said that the 8th son of Devaki will be the cause of his death. But from that day, he lived in fear. He was consumed by fear. And so he was always thinking of Krishna in an unfavorable way. So after those first 6 sons, they were Kam, Krodh, Balabhadra, Lob, greed. Yes. They were all killed. This is a divine arrangement. Prabhupada explains that when we have, naturally we have fear in this material world because of the influence of these demoniac qualities. But if we take shelter of Krishna, then all these qualities can be killed, annihilated. So now, the 17th incarnation is Baladeva, head within her womb. And Krishna, speaking to the Devatas, he says, Garva Sankarshane Tamvai Prahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi Ramiti Loka Ramanad Balabhadram Balotrayat. Translation. The son of Rohini will also be celebrated as Sankarshan because of being sent from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He will be called Rama because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokula. And he will also be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. These are some of the reasons why Balaram is known as Sankarshan. Balaram, or sometimes Rama, he is known also. In the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sometimes, some people object when Rama is accepted as Balaram. I've met people like that. I tell them, Balaram, this Ram in the Hare Krishna mantra refers to Balaram. And they will say, no, it's only Ram or Ramchandra. I wouldn't argue with them. But Prabhupada says, but although devotees of Lord Ram may object, you should know that there is no difference between Balaram and Lord Rama. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam clearly states that Balaram is also known as Rama. In this verse, Rameti Loka Ramana. He's referred to here as Loka Ramana because of his special mercy in enabling people in general to become devotees. So we have become devotees by the mercy of Lord Balarama. Therefore, it is not artificial for us to speak of Lord Balaram as Lord Rama. Jayadev Goswami, the great devotee and poet, we just sang his stotram, he also speaks of three different Ramas. Parshuram, Raghupati Ram, and Balaram. So all of them are Ramas. So it's a very auspicious day. Balarama. We all heard a nice dramatic reading of the pastime of Lord Balaram in the chess game. The king of Kalinga. This is very nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna book also. And the last time I read that pastime, I couldn't help but laugh. How Balaram, because the king of Kalinga was showing his teeth and laughing, making funny. He was cheating, and then he was making fun of Balaram. Eventually, Balaram just picked the club up and knocked out all his teeth. So, Balaram is, he's referred to as, he has this name because, Balabhadra, because of his extraordinary strength. Actually, Prabhupada said he's the source of all strength, and not just material strength, but spiritual strength. So as devotees, we seek the mercy of Balaram so that we remain strong in Krishna consciousness. We can develop, that is real strength actually. The material strength, that only goes so far. Eventually, we all have to succumb to death. Right? No matter how many muscles you develop, it's not going to save you. But if you take shelter of Balaram, chanting the Maha Mantra, then you can easily cross over. Birth and death, these are two of the prime miseries of this material world. Krishna says, one who is born, death is certain. So it's coming. It's unavoidable. And he says, and one who has died, birth is certain. And this can go on perpetually. How long we've been in the material world, no one can say. This is not our only birth, as some people think. And this is not our first birth, as some people think also. But it can become our last birth. If we take shelter of Lord Balaram. And any intelligent person must conclude that what is the use of taking birth and then dying and taking birth again and then dying? And in between birth and death there's miseries, diseases, and then old age. It's intelligent to conclude this is useless, this is a waste of time. Better get out of here. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to say, this is not a place for a gentleman or a lady. This is because of these miseries. We are forced. We are conditioned. Our existence is threatened. it is threatened. So what kind of life is that? It is not a happy life. Material life is not a happy life. One time, when I first went to Laguna Beach, I was sent there by the GBC to be president. And Laguna Beach, if some of you may or may not know, Laguna Beach at that time it was voted in some survey to be the most desirable place to live in America. Laguna Beach. It's a small little town, coastal town. It's like picture card perfect. I was very happy there. And shortly after I was there, one day these young people came from the beach because we had a house that was the temple. Like many temples, in the first few temples in ISKCON, were just houses that devotees took and transformed into a temple. So this house was right facing the ocean. In fact, you could, from the temple room, you look out the window, you can see the waves. And not only that, sometimes you could see whales. You know, the big. Are whales fishes or not? They're not. But they live in the ocean. And every year we would see whales going this way. I don't know where they're coming from. And after a few months, we'd see them going back. I thought it was really amazing. So one day I was there at the temple and these young people came up from the beach. They were all wearing the swim clothes, boys and girls. So I sat them down in the temple room and I sent the devotee to bring some prasad so we can give them. And I began to talk to them, trying to preach to them. And I had just come from Los Angeles, which is an entirely different place. You know, the cities are made by man and they become hellish. And it said, the city is made by man, but the country is made by God. So we're living here in New Mayapur. This is God's country. Right? Anyway, these young people, I began preaching to them saying how this material world is hellish. Don't become attached here. We want to get out of here. Along these lines, I was preaching to them. And one young boy, he raised his hand and he said, "You're making it sound like it's so bad here." I said, "I'm not making it sound bad, it is bad." He said, "Well, not for me." And then I realized, you're right. He's living in Laguna Beach, the most desirable place. So his experience of life there was different from anywhere else in America. So I said, "You are right. You are one of the few fortunate souls living in a place like this, Laguna Beach." So I realized I have to change my way of preaching. I can't preach how miserable it is because they don't believe me. So I said, "Yes, thank you for pointing that out to me." He said, "But as nice as it is, how long can you stay here. It's temporary. As Krishna states, Dugalayam Ashashvatam. If you think it's not that bad, I like it, you can't keep it, you can't stay. You'll be kicked out. So I changed my way of talking to them. I stopped saying that it's horrible. So yeah, but it's temporary. You can't. How long can you live here? So our life in the material world is like that. It's troublesome. It's apart from our temporary stay, there are so many other miseries we have to undergo. What can we do about it? Nothing. Miseries, there are three kinds of miseries that we are forced to undergo. In Sanskrit, they're known as Adhyatmic, Adhibautik, and Adhidaivik. So, Adhyatmic means miseries caused by our neighbors. Miseries caused by others, living entities. Right? Humans give us misery. And even animals, insects, little give us, right? Mosquitoes, so tiny, they can give us misery. So that's adhyatmic. Misery is caused by, we say, nature, like hurricanes, earthquakes, excessive cold, excessive heat. Miseries, these are caused by the devatas, the demigods. So we're always, from beginning to end, there's miseries in life. And then old age. Nobody wants to be old, but it comes. Once Prabhupada was speaking about this, and he raised his hand, and he showed us his arm. He said, one time it was muscles and it was firm, but now it's like flat tire. Prabhupada had a way of he could make a joke with anything. But we get the point. This body it becomes, now when it's young, full of life, full of energy, you think, I can do anything. But as the body begins to get older, then you realize, I can't. And eventually, the simple, basic things you can't do. In 2 minutes more? 3. Okay, let's wrap it up. On this same point, Prabhupada, during his last days, his body was completely emaciated. He had stopped eating for like 2 months or more. All he was having was a little spoonful of one disciple, Atreya Rishi. His Prabhupada stopped eating. He said, what is the point of eating? Everything I eat, I cannot digest it. So it comes back up. So he said, so I'm just going to fast. And one sannyasi told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he said, but Prabhupada, if you don't eat, you will die. Prabhu said, what nonsense you're talking about. Even if I eat, I will die. This body is sure to die. So, why eat when I can't digest and it's miserable? So he started fasting. And then he said, don't think this won't happen to you. It will happen to all of us. We were pretty much in denial. You know, we were around the world, we were hearing that Prabhupada is sick, he can't walk, can't sit up, can't do so many things. The notice was being given that he's going to leave. But we were pretty much in denial. I know I was thinking, oh, he's going to bounce back. Wait and see, any day now, he's going to bounce back and travel again and enliven us around the world, but no. So, anyway, today there are many things, festive things for us to be engaged in. I was told that the noon artik, it's 12:30 here in the temple. I'll be singing. So don't just space out. Come and chant and dance. All right. Thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Actually, Agnideva Prabhu 3 years ago asked me to make a film about New Mayapur. You may have seen it, New Mayapur today. And now it's 3 years on. And I have made a new film. For those of you who know me, who may have seen some, this is my latest, and I really recommend it. It's called Around the Hill, and it's all about the parikrama, Giriraj parikrama, the different forms of it. Some people walk it, some people make prostrations around it, some people make 108 prostrations in one spot before they move on. It's unbelievable. So there are many interviews by authorities in ISKCON, like a dozen of them, but also authorities in other sampradayas, like Shyam Das of the Pushti Marg, Ramesh Baba, even Ananta Das Babaji. It's fascinating. So it's actually 15 years in the making. Many, I'll spare you the details, it's been a struggle. But the result is, I can't say that I'm not very proud of it. And I hope that tomorrow at 11 o'clock, it's been programmed to be shown here or there on this screen. After prasadam, so that's initiation up to 10, then prasadam, breakfast. And at 11 o'clock we all meet here, please. And if you don't, you will miss out on something. Agnideva Prabhu said, in the morning I'll be there, but then I'm leaving. So we'll say goodbye, the farewell showing. Hare Krishna, thank you very much.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I leave tomorrow after lunch.
Great.
What is the film called? Huh? What is the film called? It's called Around the Hill, the Giriraj Parikrama. It's 77 minutes, that's an hour and 17 minutes.
No. Chakshuram Nalikami Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Virati Swakam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Mukti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nirvasesha Sanyavadi Paschachari Shatayane Mukam Kuroti Vachanam Pangam Langayati Yatkita Taham Bande Shri Guru Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, on this wonderful occasion of Balarama Purnima, Lord Balaram's appearance day here in Mayapur. Very special event here. Here in New Mayapur, of course, with next year being the 50th anniversary of the installation of Krishna Balaram and this year being the 50th anniversary of the acquirement of New Mayapur and devotees moving here. I presume 50 years ago, I wasn't here. Maybe some of you were. The devotees would have celebrated this day, but not with the understanding that a year later that they would have Krishna Balaram deities here. I don't, maybe some had that Trikalagya, could see the future, probably not. So next year is a big year, but every year is a big year for us. This is our day, special day, where we realize that we're here by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, which means the mercy of Balarama. So we'll try to speak a few words this morning on this occasion. Usually we have a colourful PowerPoint presentation. I wasn't going to do a PowerPoint presentation all, but just a few little things this morning since we're already set, and you can follow it if you want on the screen. We just say a few invocatory prayers to Lord Balaram. This is generally understood as the Baladev Pranam, special prayers at the lotus feet of Lord Balaram. You can repeat it if you wish. Namaste Halagraha,
Namaste Halagraha,
Namaste Mushaludha,
Namaste Mushaludha,
Namaste Revati Kanta,
Namaste Revati Kanta,
Namaste Bhaktavatsala,
Namaste Bhaktavatsala,
Namaste Dharanidara,
Namaste Dharanidara,
Namaste Balaram Shrestha,
Namaste Balaram Shrestha,
Palambare Namastestu,
Palambare Namastestu,
Ehimam Krishna Purvaja,
Ehimam Krishna Purvaja.
Translation. Obeisances unto you, O holder of the plough. Obeisances to you, O wielder of the mace. O Obeisances to you, O darling of Revati. For those who don't know, who is Revati? The wife of Lord Balarama. He had 2 wives. Who was the other wife? Varuni. Who is Varuni?
Wife of Balarama.
Yeah, wife of Balarama. Good answer. Pardon?
The wine.
Wine. Lord Balarama is sometimes known as, you could say the deity of the drunkards. In the form of Lord Nishanadi would sometimes display that. He sometimes would like to drink a little bit of beverage, get a little excited. Varuni is the daughter of Varuna. And that's the whole story. We're not going to tell pastimes here. You've been lucky to have heard them, of how Varuni became the consort, or she's eternal consort of Lord Balarama in this particular pastime 5,000 years ago, how she connected with Lord Balarama at one time. And Revati, that's another story for us. We have it, where's Revati? Is she here? Where's Revati? She's there. We have several Revatis here in France, devotees. And I'm sure they'll tell you the story if you ask them. We'll leave it to them. It's a very interesting story of heaven and earth and coming down to size. Obeisances to you, O kind benefactor of your devotees. And that's interesting because we just heard about Rukmini, but then we heard about we've heard a few pastimes this week, and we also had the wonderful pastime of Lord Balarama, with his plough, dragging Hastinapur into the Jamuna, practically speaking, and why he went there, and so on and so forth, as we heard. He was a great well-wisher of the Kurus, great well-wisher, and especially of Duryodhana. You see again and again throughout the pastimes that this comes up, isn't it? Whether it was the marriage of Subhadra, Balarama wanted to marry Subhadra to Duryodhana. And at the Battle of Kurukshetra, he was very disturbed when Bhima smashed Duryodhana. On many other occasions, the Rukmini pastimes a little bit, took a little turn of events. But generally speaking, we see Balarama especially favourable to Duryodhana throughout the pastimes. The pastime with Hastinapur was a slight turn of events. Generally speaking, some of you know that, but there was a conversation with Srila Prabhupada. Harisori was asked a question about this. How is it? Lord Balarama seems to be supporting Duryodhana. Duryodhana is not generally held to be the greatest saint. Opposed to Krishna, opposed to the Pandavas, very self-centered. Prabhu, of course, you may know that Duryodhana was a disciple of Lord Balarama. He took shelter of Lord Balarama. He learned all of his, especially with the club fighting from Lord Balarama. And Prabhupada said, yes, he's a devotee of Lord Balarama. Always a devotee of Lord Balarama. Harisori said, is he playing a part or is he actually a demon? Prabhupada said he's playing a part. He's playing a part. He's actually a devotee of Lord Balarama. Eternal devotee of Lord Balarama, playing a part. They all have their parts to play. There's a story there. Obeisances to you, O upholder of the earth. So this expansion, the Natashesh, and other expansions we heard from Mandakini the other day. There is ways that Lord Balarama serves Krishna, takes different forms, takes many forms. Even the appearance of Lord Balarama is quite extraordinary. We just heard from Agnideva Prabhu a little bit about that from Srila Prabhupada. Much more could be said, of course. Lord Balaram expands as an Antishesh, entered into the womb of Devaki for a short while, purified the womb. This is another purpose, you could say, of Lord Balaram, service to the Lord. The spiritual master represents Lord Balaram. His, you could say, service is to clean up our hearts so they become a suitable residence for the Lord, his pleasure. So he did that in the womb of Devaki, you could say that. After all of we heard just now, the enemies were removed. We won't have time, but we could have read another angle of that from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, but time will probably not allow it. If it does, we'll read it. Very interesting words of Vishnu. So in the womb of Devaki, he stayed there for a while. We just heard that the Lord ordered his Yogamaya potency to go there and transfer Lord Baladev, or Nantishesh, from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini. Last year when we had Hariparshad Prabhu here, we heard wonderful, let's say, explanation a little bit beyond just the surface. There are many, many other aspects to this pastime, how actually Rohini, another wife of Vasudeva, was pregnant also at the same time. And the child in the womb of Devaki was transferred by Yogamaya into the womb of Rohini. Actually, the child emerged into its original form. In the womb of Rohini was Balaram, the actual Vrindavan Balaram, the original Balaram was in Rohini's womb. So Anantashesh merged back into his original form. It's the nature of the Lord. When needs are there, that the Lord expands in various ways. So do the pure devotees, the eternal associates also do likewise, if the Lord desires. So in that way, Lord Balaram remained in the womb of Rohini for some time. We'll discuss that. Obeisances to you, O best of the strong. Obeisances to you, O enemy of Palamba. Please come to me, older brother of Krishna. And that's the recommended Baladev Pranam, which we find in Islam's deity worship book, Pancharatra Pradeep. If you want to chant that. There are many, many more. Duryodhana, if you read in Garga Samhita, you'll find 1,000 names of Lord Balaram, which were given to Duryodhana, and many, many, many prayers which he offers to Lord Balaram. Garga Samhita. All together? Well, I'll read once, you read all. Jaya Ramagata Jaya Rohini Nanda.
Jaya Ramagata Jaya Rohini Nanda.
Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jatarajam.
Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jatarajam.
Many of you are familiar with this. It's part of this beautiful song, Nectar and Glories of Brajadam. Sri Brajadam. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan.
Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan.
I'm not going to sing the whole song, you know that song. And this is one of the verses. Jaya Ramagata Jaya Rohini Nanda.
Jaya Ramagata Jaya Rohini Nanda.
Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jatarajam.
Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jatarajam.
All glories to Ramagat, where Lord Balaram performed his Rasa dance. Many of you have been to Ramagata, I'm sure, in the river Jamuna. Wonderful dham. Especially this is Lord Balaram's dham. And that's another pastime which is in the Krishna book, as you can read. Discuss it today, remember these pastimes of Lord Balaram. All glories to Lord Balaram, the son of Rohini. All glories to all the residents of Vrindavan. When Lord Balaram returned to Vrindavan after going with Krishna to Mathura Dwarka, when he came back those few months, that he had his own rasa dance, Ramadan. With his own goatees, he has his own goatees too. Another story. Yo nasmareta ramasya kamadya bhuta karmanaha sayam prataranantasya Vishnu sadaito bhavet. All the activities of the unlimited Lord Balaram are amazing. Anyone who regularly remembers them at dawn and dusk will become very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu. That's the name of Krishna. Doesn't mean you'll be lucky if you go to Vaikuntha or something. No, it doesn't mean that. Vishnu is another name of Krishna. Kritavan kila karmani Saramena Keshava Atimatyani Bhagavan Buddha Kapata Manusaha Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead along with Balaram, played like a human being, and so masked he performed many superhuman acts. And now we're just going to read a little something. This is a prelude. And many of you have heard this before. It's very relevant to us here in France. So if you remain strong, this is a conversation. I'm sorry I haven't got the reference, it's easy to find. So if you remain strong in those spiritual activities, these agasura, or kasura, will come and go. That means there's an artist. Whatever an artist we may have, we want some, I'm sure. But we should take precaution and counteract to reduce them. Real strength will remain from Krishna Balaram's strength. Balaram means strength. Nayam atma balahina nalabhyam. If you are not supported by Balaram, then it is not possible. So we've got our Balaram, Krishna Balaram temple. Now in Europe, we have got Krishna Balaram. Gopal Krishna. In France, Prabhupada, yes. Gargamuni. Which place? Outside the farm? Prabhupada, very nice. Gopal Krishna. Exactly like Vrindavan, I heard. The deities are exactly like obviously Vrindavan. Just some meditations here. Prabhupada was thinking of Krishna Balaram here in Newmarket. We have got another quote here from Prabhupada in Bombay. We have got a very palatial building. We have named it Newmarket. What is the place? Sorry, Chateau Doublé. Prabhupada, I cannot pronounce it. Prabhupada was educated by the Brits, you know. That's my problem. Prabhupada. Yeah. So anyway, amen, there were about 300 men living there, is that right? 300 of us? Maybe today, I don't know. Tomorrow, on Monday there'll be 30.
It will happen again.
Huh?
It will happen again.
It will happen again. Confirmed. 5 men and women, of course. Children also. First time, 4 months, 5 months before I was there. It is very, very nice place. We are getting our own fruits, own vegetables fresh, and we're getting fresh wheat and milk. It is so happy life. Prabhupada has so much desire here at Numayaka in this regard. We cultivate the land as much as possible. And cows, bulls. Now Lord Balaram is starting to appear in various ways. How many bulls in Namachara may not be here, I don't know. How many bulls do we have now? 4? 4 bulls. 2 bigger ones and 2 smaller ones, and they're all learning to plough the fields. This is Lord Balaram's department. That's what he's here for. He hasn't come here just so we can, chant Jai Bala, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram. He's come here to fulfill his purpose. Obviously. He's the ploughman. Bulls, especially the bulls. Krishna's on the other side more. The cows, Balaram's more on the bull side. He's a bully. If you get on the wrong side, he'll let you know it. As we just heard. Poor old Rukmi. I feel sorry for the poor guy. That was really cruel, wasn't it? He just smashed him with his club, and that was the end of that. He just given him. He had a bit of a fight over his daughter, but he gave his over Rukmi, and he gave his daughter, then he gave his granddaughter. A bit of a fight over his sister, right? He had a bit of a fight, right? But very charitable, man. Balaram just smashed him on the head for no reason. Killed him. You see what side I'm on. Not today. We wish he would smash our narcissism like that. And then with his plough drag us back to God. We need a bit of help from Lord Balaram. Here's another one. Real strength will remain from Krishna Balaram's strength. Balaram. Balaram means strength. If you're not supported by Balaram, it's not possible. So we've got our Balaram, Krishna Balaram temple. Now in Europe, we've got Krishna Balaram. Just like that. I was just thinking that this presence of Lord Balaram here in the deity, in many other ways here, as we heard a few other ways. I was on the way looking at the temple, the castle, the chateau. You may have noticed, if you haven't been here for a while, it's a bit whiter than it used to be. It's been cleaned up a little bit. Olivia Prabhu, I don't know if he's with us at the moment. He's been working hard in his spare time cleaning the walls of the castle with his professional stone cleaner. So he's been using his high-powered machine cleaning the walls, and he hasn't finished yet. But it's shining white in so many places. This castle is another form of Lord Balaram. It is. He's the support. He's the strength. It's a strong castle. There's another form of Lord Balaram. So many ways you could look at it. The property. Lord Balaram he's the, Ladini, Samvit, Sandini. He's the overseer of Sandini. The Sandini potency, Sandini Shakti. Sandini Shakti in the spiritual realm is the backdrop. It's all the various facilities that are provided. They may be adjusted, of course, by other associates of the Lord, but Lord Balaram provides all the various facilities, like he's provided this property, he's provided the buildings, he's providing everything, and here he's providing us the strength. We'll hear more about that in a minute. Krishna Balaram. And now you can chant together if you wish. This is an unusual verse because Agnideva spoke on a particular verse in the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavatam 10th canto, so I quickly chose another verse here. In the 7th canto, this 15th chapter, this is the teachings, if I'm not mistaken, this is Narada Muni speaking to Yudhishthira. Yavam Rikaya Ratam Atma Vishopakalpam Date Garishta Charanachanayani Shatam Yana Simachyutabalo Daradashta Shatru Sananda Trushtu Pashanta Idam Vijahayat As long as one has to accept the material body with its different parts and paraphernalia, which are not fully under one's control, one must have the lotus feet of his superiors. Doesn't sound much related to Balarama, but let's see what Prabhupada says. I'm only going to read something from the purport. No, I don't think I got this quite right. I think there's something out here, so if you excuse me. Yeah, I left one slide out, unfortunately. Prabhupada talks of Janma Karma Chamedi Vyameva Myuveti Tattvata. You may know this verse in the Bhagavad Gita. To understand the transcendental nature and activities of the Supreme Personality of God. One who understands that, one who knows that. What is the result of that? One doesn't take birth again in this material world, but attains the spiritual world. So understand more about Lord Balarama. Of course, we know he appears as janananda and so many other forms. Essential in our lives to understand Krishna and the Lord, and of course, Balarama also appears in Parampara, pure devotees to succession. Their empowerment comes from Lord Balarama. We'd like to say a prayer today, and we're praying that the Lord Balarama will empower and strengthen all the devotees here at Nirvana, particularly those in positions of responsibility. It's a big task, very big task. And of course, there's a great need for support from Balarama ultimately, also from other fortunate souls who are willing to sacrifice their lives. New Mayapur is just an expansion of Vrindavan. Everyone knows how intense it is to live in Vrindavan. You can live here in Maya if you want, hard luck. But if you really want to live in Vrindavan, it's quite intense. Not easy. And New Mayapur has that same intensity. So a lot of pressure, a lot of challenges, a lot of opportunities to surrender. Ideal place to actually get the mercy of Lord Balarama. What do you think? Are you going to move here? Join us? Be careful what you say. But it is an ideal place to get that mercy. Definitely don't expect it to be all roses. There's a lot of roses, thanks to Giri Govardhan Prabhu and his crew, but it's not always roses. You come in the winter, you won't see a single rose. There's through its ups and downs. Challenges. We have to remain steady by the grace of Balarama through thick and thin. That's why he's here. Prabhupada said this. When he established this temple, he said, "We want this." He didn't say this exactly. He said, "Now we want a headquarters in Europe. This is the only property left in Europe." Good Prabhupada. So where else can it be? Others have not realized it yet, unfortunately. Maybe one day they will. I'm going to take this up in the middle of nowhere here. Okay. It's by the mercy of the spiritual master. I don't know what happened to the slide. I had rushed.
It's the translation.
Pardon?
It's the translation continued.
Yeah, we're going on quite a long way. Oh, you got the whole thing on the screen? Okay. By their mercy, talking about the parampara, the disciplic succession, and this is only some of the purport, by the way, it's not all of it. Some of you can see the whole thing on your mobile if you want. I just left it a few parts, it's a very long purport. By their mercy, one can sharpen the sword of knowledge, and with the power, oh, I see what's happening.
It's the first translation.
I was going backwards. I'll go to the, there we go. Okay, here we go. This is the highest perfection of life, and the human body is meant for this purpose. Okay. A significant word here is Achyuta Bala. That's in the original verse. The spiritual master is certainly very merciful to his disciples, and consequently, by satisfying him, the devotee gets strength from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. One must first please the spiritual master. Then one automatically pleases Krishna and gets the strength with which to cross the ocean of messiness. If one seriously desires to return home back to Godhead, one must therefore become strong enough by pleasing the spiritual master. For thus one gets the weapon with which to conquer the enemy. And one also gets the grace of Krishna. Simply getting the weapon of jnana is insufficient. One must sharpen the weapon by serving the spiritual master and adhering to his instructions. Then the candidate will get the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In general warfare, one must take help from his chariot and horses in order to conquer his enemy. And after conquering his enemy, he may give up the chariot and its paraphernalia. Similarly, as long as one has a human body, one should fully utilize it to obtain the highest perfection of life, namely going home back to Godhead. Again, Prabhu says, significant in this verse are the words Jnanasim Chitabalaha. Jnanasim, the sword of knowledge, is given by Krishna. In order to hold the sword of Krishna's instructions, Balarama gives one strength. Balarama gives one strength. Balarama is Nityananda. Bhajandanananaje Shachisuto Huida Se Balarama Huida Nitai. This Balarama comes with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and both of them are so merciful that in this age of Kali, one may very easily take shelter of their lotus feet. They come especially to deliver the fallen souls of this age. Papi tapita tachila hariname udavila. Their weapon is Sankirtan. Lord Balarama has the plough and the club. Lord Nityananda, Sankirtan. Harinam. Thus one should accept the sword of knowledge from Krishna and be strong with the mercy of Balaram. We are therefore worshipping Krishna Balaram in Vrindavan. In the Modaka Upanishad it is said, Nayamatma balahine alavyo nacha pramadat tapaso vapyalingat etarapayaryatate astu vidvans tasyavatma dishate brahmadam. One cannot attain the goal of life without the mercy of Balaram. Sri Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, Nityayera karuna habe raje radha Krishna pabe. When one receives the mercy of Balaram, Nityananda, one can attain the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna very easily. Se sambandhana hijar rita janma gelita ritukule ki kore beta hi kore beta. If one has no connection with Nitai, Balaram, then even though one is a very learned scholar or jnani, or has taken birth in a very respectable family, these assets will not help him. We must therefore conquer the enemies of Krishna consciousness with the strength received from Balaram. The enemies of Krishna consciousness are in our own heart. We sometimes think they're out there. They appear to be out there to show us that they're in here. Krishna is another aspect of Balaram making arrangements so that we're seeing all these things, and we're afraid of this, we're afraid of that, but the real problem is in our hearts. That's where the change takes place. There's no need of all these external arrangements otherwise. It's all there to change our hearts. I wanted to read something very interesting now. Another form of Lord Balaram. You don't think of it. We say Balaram Madanga. We also say Brihat Madanga. The Brihat Madanga is what?
Book distribution.
Yeah, book distribution. And specifically, if you look at the Gaudiya Math logo, what is on their logo? On the side of Raganuga Bhakti. It's not daily worship. Pardon? The printing press. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj has put the printing press on Raganuga Bhakti. It's the Brihat Madanga. They're both forms of Lord Balaram. But we want to get the mercy of Balaram in many ways, but this is the way emphasized so much by the spiritual master, who is the empowered representative of Balaram, to publish and distribute widely and to study and to share amongst ourselves and to live by it, but the written word, the Briyat Madunga. If Prabhupada bowed down, people told me he has record that Prabhupada bowed down to the printing press one time. He paid his obeisances because it was printing his books, Prabhupada, Krishna books. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj had in some places the printing press at one end of the temple room, the deities at the other. He considered it none different than Balarama, the deity, the spiritual master, in a various form, in a literary form. So here in France, years gone by, during the 70s and 80s, book distribution was quite prominent. Let's see what this is. A letter to Prabhupada from the BBC. They distributed, this is being read out, I think, by tomorrow. They distributed 25,000 Gitas in 1 week in French. Okay, got it? Get cracking, boys. If anyone wants to help us, you come and see. Varam gave me a plan this morning. He gave me a plan. He revealed something this morning. I'm not going to share it. Big plan. In the letter, he's talking to Prabhupada. He says, to the conditioned souls of this country in 7 days, 25,000 Gitas. We hope that these results are the biggest in the history of your movement and that they will give you some solace. They were. The next week we beat them in England. We went on a mega marathon in England. We were competing, France, England, bang, bang. I was right in the middle of it. I was coming back and forth between France and England. And it's a fierce competition. Who could do the most books in a week? Our top distributors were back to Richard. And everyone laughed. Back to Richard. Now, many of you older to us know exactly who that is. He still lives here most of the time in France. He's a sannyasi, Gaudiya. Somebody who isn't initiated yet, who distributed 1,504. In those days, Gita was called big. It's now called Mahabharata. Big books in 1 week. That's quite a lot. Every day he distributed over 200 hardcover books. In fact, after some time he distributed 1,000 in 1 day. 1,000 Maha big books in 1 day. Can you believe that? That's power. Where else can you get the strength to do that? No way. It's impossible. Impossible. 1,000 in 1 day. Even 200 in 1 day. That's quite a lot of books. That means every day he distributed over 200 hardcover books. That's pretty good. Everyone's laughing. That means he did about, say, 240 books in 12 hours. 20 Gitas an hour. You can 20 in a day, or like dancing through the streets, He distributed about 1 book every 3 minutes for 12 hours in a row without stop. Srila Prabhupada every day. Jagat Basi, and some of you know Jagat Basi, 1,125 Gitas, or big books. Aristanasana Prabhu. He might be there, he is. He's sitting back there, very embarrassed. 864 books. Wow. Krishakirti, 851 books. Many of you know where he is now. Akileshwar, he's also down south. 835 big books. Kripa Siddha, I know everyone up to this point. Kripa Siddha, the older was. Where is he now? Is he alive? Where is he?
Maybe in the south.
Pardon?
Maybe in the south.
Based out? What did you say?
In the south.
In the south of France.
South of France. Where?
I forgot the name.
We don't have a Prabhupada Murti for him.
No.
He's still there. Find out. Try to find out where he is. We'll get him a Murti. I'm sure Prabhupada. Then they say, thank you for allowing us to assist you in preaching this message of Lord Chaitanya in the Western countries. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada, your humble servants, the devotees in France. So you have a challenge this year? Prabhupada Book Marathon. Okay, I can't see down the guy, so I'm looking at you.
He's on the altar.
He's on the altar. He's praying to Lord Balarama. He's praying. You better pray pretty deeply there, boy. But then we can all take a little part. Imagine 12, 25, so we've 100 books. So if 250 devotees distribute 100 books during the month, how much does that come to? 25,000. Not much, 100 in a month. We just need 250 volunteers to do it. Hare Krishna. I'll move on. Did you read this? I'm going to move. There's so many statements of Prabhupada. Otherwise, no difficulty. Jai Krishna Balaram, Nitai Gaur Radhesham. Jai Krishna Balaram. Jai Krishna Balaram, Nitai Gaur. How does that go? That's a tune. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna Balaram. No, come on, what's this three? We used to sing it. Prabhupada said you could sing this, and you could sing it here if you can make it up. Might be more difficult here. Radha Govinda Madhura is longer than Krishna. And anyway. Jai Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Radhesham Jai Krishna. Yeah. Jai Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Radhesham. Jai Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Radhesham. Said we could do it. Very symmetrical. Very. Actually, it goes in my mind a lot now. Prabhupada, Jai Krishna Balaram. Who has got strength like Balaram? Balaram. He can do everything by his strength. We saw movements going on by Balaram's strength. We're depending on him, Balaram. He can please everyone. And he has got immense strength to do anything he likes. Jai Krishna Balaram. Prabhupada. I'll jump over. Oh, there's one quote missing. One quote missing. That was one I just wanted to finish on because our time is up. And I don't think I got it here. Oh yes, okay, I read it already. I thought that was interesting how Prabhu said, we have named it in Bible. Prabhu, this is Prabhu's words. We have named it in Bible. And there was some question marks. The Prabhu was saying, we, not you, we have named it in Bible. And yeah, well, the time is up. Supposed to finish at 45, so it's 40 past. 45. Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Balaram Purnima ki jai. Go Premanande. Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram.
Jaya Gore Tai, Gore Tai.